And this week, we're actually filming from a plane. We're about to skydive.
Out onto the mountain to après-ski my way to success. You actually are looking very red today.
I am,
You're wearing your red hood.
A little bit.
A granny and red as appearing in Hoodwinked Halloween costume duo, I think could go
Pretty
incredibly
iconic.
hard. Like ski suit granny and Annie Hathaway in her bell-bottom jeans serving.
Yeah, honestly, her outfit, I love that. When did this come out? 2005?
2006.
2006. You can tell because she is wearing jeans and jorts. Well, no.
A skirt over her jeans.
Yes. But it's a jean skirt as well. What do you call that?
A jean skirt?
Jeans, I guess.
And
not jorts,
and the bell-bottom jeans go to the ground. Cover the shoes. 100% cover the shoe. Giving her an almost hoof-like appearance.
Yes.
To the foot, which is one of the many criticisms you can make about the animation in this movie, but I'm going to stand on this hill right now. There's stuff about this movie I would change, but the way it looks is not one of them.
Well, it was really interesting because we started watching this and it is jarring when you get into it, but your eyes do adjust, and at a certain point you're like, I'm making exactly. It's all making sense to me now.
It's like I'm doing a few extra layers of rendering in my brain, and I'm making it work for me. No, I love the crunchiness of the animation of this film, which we are celebrating DVDs.
Yes. This month, we are here for the physical media.
And this is from my collection, and I am so shocked that this DVD even played, because it is from 2006, I'm sure, or whatever the swath of DVD sales that came after the theatrical release of this film was insane. I think it outperformed like all other DVD sales of that year or something.
Wait, so really?
The way that people sort of categorize this movie as lost media
is crazy.
I think is a little misconstrued. I do think that this movie is harder to find than other films.
Sure.
And I can't speak internationally. I mean, maybe this is in America. You can stream it right now on Tubi, I think, and you can rent it on Amazon.
Which Tubi is pretty mainstream in terms of like the shittier streaming services that you have access to these days. There are definitely worse, more crunchy ones that it could be buried on.
Poob.
It's on Poob.
But I can't speak for like internationally if it's more difficult to find if you're overseas. But I feel like this movie is one that people often refer of like, oh, that was such a fever dream. Like, who even remembers Hoodwinked? Like, the singing goat, did you guys even remember that? And I'm like, no. Hoodwinked to me was culturally ubiquitous. Everyone had this DVD at their house. I had seen this movie 100 times as a kid, and maybe, again, this came out in 2006. I was 7 or 8 years old, so I was very much the target audience. This movie is responsible for the foundations of my sense of humor.
Absolutely.
I believe fully. Shrek is the blueprint, and this movie is clearly trying to do what Shrek was doing, but the unprohibited production of this movie, the oversight that they did not have on this, I think we would not have gotten such a beautifully crisp piece of comedy.
Yes, absolutely.
If it had been
guardrailed it,
produced by DreamWorks or Disney, who could have made it look a lot better. But I think the script would have been entirely different.
Well, it's just less insane. That's the beauty of it, is this movie is insane, right? And so talk me through this. So you watched this 100 times. This is like one of your favorite pieces of media from childhood?
No, I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but definitely one that we watched a lot. And I would say that it is in the realm of like over the hedge, open season, like
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, like early computer animated films that were a little more edgy in their sense of humor. As a kid, you're like, oh, that's what I like. It's not Disney shit for babies. This is the corked up squirrel acting so crazy when he drinks the coffee. Like, very much formative. And I think the way people our age developed a sense of humor of like loving things that are ironic and satirical.
See, I do feel like if there's two camps here of Hoodwinked and Over the Hedge, I feel like I fell more into the Over the Hedge camp. I can't say that I remember this movie very well. It feels familiar, and I'm sure that I watched it at some point, but I don't think I owned it in the way that you did and wore her out that way.
Yeah, because my DVD was scratched to all hell, and I was like knock on wood that this actually plays, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
It looked
full through
crunchy as fuck.
I swear to God, it got better as the movie went on.
No, it probably
But maybe
did.
that's my eyes adjusting. I don't know.
No, it fluctuates scene to scene.
Yeah, well, there's different animators for every single character and everything, you know.
Which isn't uncommon in animated production, but this movie is incredibly unique. If you want a little history about
Please, yeah, I didn't want to dive in because I was really curious while we were watching this, but I didn't want to dive in too early. Tell me everything. Tell me everything.
Because I was like needing to investigate because I'm like, how did this happen? Like, why did this happen?
Yeah. And well, especially considering that first things first, this movie opens on the Weinstein Company name as well.
So that is a pretty big part of it. But it starts with this duo of brothers, Corey and Todd Edwards, and they want to break into the Hollywood industry. They love to make movies. They write as a duo, and they're trying to get into the industry, and they're starting off doing anything they can. So they're taking small jobs, music videos, animating Christian TV, like Veggie Tales knockoff.
Stop. That makes okay.
Straight to DVD Veggie Tales knockoff content, pretty much. So they're working on that. So they get a little bit of experience, kind of across the board in a couple of different, areas of the industry. And they're like, okay, we really want to make a full movie, so we need to find funding. And they get put in contact with this entrepreneur named Maurice Canbar. And Maurice has his toes in all sorts of financial areas. He's a big real estate investor. He holds a bunch of patents for a ton of inventions and stuff. But most notably, he is the founder of Sky Vodka. That is SKYY, all caps, vodka. Beautiful. If you're not familiar, it's a pretty low shelf, absolute alternative, I guess I would categorize it as. But I will be referring to Maurice Canbar exclusively as the Sky Vodka guy.
Yeah.
The Edwards brothers link up with the Sky Vodka guy, and he's like, I need this to make money because I'm funding the arts or whatever, but this is ultimately a business venture for me. And he's like, I need you guys to make a movie, but it needs to be a story everyone already knows. Kind of like, how Shrek did. You take a fairy tale or something that people are already familiar with so that they're kind of already bought in to the movie inherently. So he's basically like, use an existing IP, make your own thing. And the Edwards brothers are like, okay, well, we can't really do anything that Disney has done. We have to look at the landscape of like what is available IP. And they land on Little Red Riding Hood. And pretty much Sky Vodka is like, take the time, take a month, write whatever the fuck you want, bring it back to me, we'll see. And they decide to take the Little Red Riding Hood story and take a sort of Pulp Fiction, Rashomon, crime serial perspective where we get this sort of procedural done by Nikki Flippers, the Hercule Poirot style detective, and we get everyone's different perspective of the same event. And Sky Vodka guy's like, I love this. Here's your budget. Here's a few $8 million to be precise. And they're like, do
whatever you want.
Whatever. And so then they outsource the animation primarily to the Philippines, a little bit in India, I think, and then they clean it up back in Hollywood at the very end, just a touch. Lucasfilms does some sound stuff, but ultimately this movie is predominantly animated overseas. They have a finished product. They've made the film with a voice cast of voice actors. Tom Kenny, who was SpongeBob, he was a primary voice actor. He played a lot of the side characters. Tara Strong, who you may know as Timmy Turner, and she's an icon. If you Google her, you can find a huge infographic of all the shit from her childhood. She was on the Powerpuff Girls, and she was
just touched everything.
She's awesome. And, a myriad of other voice actors who were not A-listers. Let's put it that way. But so they have the movie. The movie is done. And now they're like, okay, well, we independently funded and produced this entire film. Now we just need to find someone to distribute it. So they go to the Cannes Film Festival. And who is there showing their movie Sin City but the Weinstein brothers?
Of course.
And I can't find any specifics on this, but why do I feel like they liked that it was a nod to Pulp Fiction?
I'm sure.
They caught that and liked that it was paying homage to something they had done.
Well, exactly. It's flattering.
And additionally, they had been working with Disney, Miramax, which is a Weinstein production company.
Of course.
Miramax was a subsidiary of Disney.
Yeah, well, Miramax did like just about every one of Tarantino's stuff. I know certainly for, what is it? What the fuck is it? Kill Bill.
Yeah. No, a lot of Tarantino movies are Miramax. That's the primary relationship he has with Harvey Weinstein. But from 93 to 2010, Miramax is under Disney. And I think Disney maybe had some like red tape oversight stuff that Harvey didn't really like. So he, in 2006, so this is getting to be at the end of the relationship between Disney and Miramax, Harvey was like, I want to produce a animated kids movie as sort of a dig at Disney, pretty much. He was like, I want to take this, and this kind of fell into his lap, paying homage to something he had, using the same sort of tropey thing that his movie had done in the past, and also is a little crunchy, a little edgy, a little different, but ultimately still doing what Disney does, which is retelling the fairy tales. It's very much a second coming of Shrek, right?
Sure.
Where it's like, we're sticking it to Disney. And I think Harvey thought that this was his Shrek moment to stick it to Disney a little bit. So he picks up the movie. The Weinstein brothers, they pick up Hoodwinked, and they're like, okay, this is fine, but we need to re-record all of the dialogue with famous people. Because we
need some heat behind this.
That's how you sell a movie.
Get Glenn Close on the bill.
Exactly. And so Harvey uses his Hollywood connections and pulls in Annie Hathaway. He pulls in Exhibit. He pulls in Glenn Close. And
the Exhibit on there is diabolical.
And they do keep some roles of people who are very much voice actors, like Patrick Warburton, who plays the wolf, is like very much known for like being Kronk. And
he was really good at
He's on American Dad, and he's a very iconic voice actor. And I think Nikki Flippers, too, is voiced by the guy who's like Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast, and he's like a voice actor guy. So this movie is not as big of an offender as a lot of other movies are, as far as prioritizing fame over talent.
Glenn Close and Annie Hathaway on the bill is something, And
it's kind of sad because although Glenn and Annie both do a good job, I think they owe a lot of credit to their performances to the original voice actors who made the movie. Like, you made a comment at one point where you're like, oh, that's Glenn Close, but she's giving a little Betty White. She's giving something a little more undetectable. And I think it's because Sally Struthers was the original Granny. She's one of the aunts in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, if that. She was also in that show All in the Family, which is like an older sitcom. But she, again, like a working Hollywood actress, which is not Glenn Close level famous. She was originally Granny, and when Glenn Close got brought in and was shown, the footage, she was like, why are you having me redo this?
Yeah.
Like, this is great. I don't see. And pretty much they had to all but say, like, it's because you're more famous.
Your name. Yeah.
So
I need the name, Glenn.
So they had the whole movie to watch and reference. So I do think, and Tara Strong was Red.
Of course.
So I think Annie and Glenn probably took some inspiration. I also think there was improvisation that happened with the original voice actors that got incorporated into the animation that then...
If it was like good.
They just don't get credit for that now that it's being said by someone else.
What a shame. Dude.
And both Tara Strong and Tom Kenny got pushed down and got smaller roles. Like SpongeBob guy is the voice of the pig cop, and Tara Strong is like, one of the side characters. And they got smaller roles, but it is just kind of a bummer because that's very much the way the industry is. But it's crazy to me that this movie got squeezed out the other side because
it's amazing. I mean, obviously when you set it up like that, it makes more sense, but it is the question of how the fuck did this get made? Also, the music is pretty fantastic.
Kind of gas.
Like, that's the whole thing. There's a lot about this movie. Like, this movie is wonky beyond belief, but at the same time, it is funny as hell. The music is good. The animation is like adds to it because it's so bad. It does become like, unfortunately, iconic, I guess.
Yeah, I think the look of it is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
And of course, a nostalgic product of that time that I think, like, I wouldn't want this to look better. I want this to remind me of my childhood, right?
Yeah.
But I think the way it looks being so bad that it's good is almost in reverse. Like, the script is so good that I'm like, how did this get by anyone? There's so many subtle adult jokes, media cultural references, like stuff that I'm sure today would be like, oh, that's going to go over kids' heads. They'll never get this, or that's inappropriate. And I think just the lack of oversight that this film production team had lended itself to making something quite unique. And
well, it has such an understated cultural impact, I guess, I think. I mean, like, of course it gets memed a lot, and I think that is sort of cultural. I think that's sort of culturally impactful in itself. But beyond that, like you said, like this was very informative to your sense of humor. And I genuinely enjoyed watching this more than I did The Dark Knight last week. I was giggling my ass off.
That's crazy. I mean, two very different objectives being carried out, of course. But yeah, I see people label this as being lost media, and I hope that is not the case. No. And I did try to dig around a little bit. I think somewhere deep on the Internet Archive, you can find the original voice cast version.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool and something that we should preserve, I think. But yeah, I kind of wonder why this movie gets buried a little bit amongst the other animated films that came out at this time, because I think a lot of people
Do you think it's just because it's not Disney and Pixar?
Yeah, perhaps. Or maybe the crunch of it all is maybe lost a bit to time. But yeah. I think, like you said, a lot of people would more think of Over the Hedge as those early computer animated films. But I feel like, why was there this era of corked up rodents that I can only attribute to Twitchy the squirrel?
Do you think, or do you think it was more Ice Age with what's his name?
Oh, Scrat. Yeah, that's 2001, I believe. So actually, yeah, that is true. But specifically, I'm like, the Twitchy, the squirrel, anthropomorphic, wearing his little photographer uniform.
Love that. Like, I didn't like Scrat, really, like that sort of character in Ice Age, but I was laughing my ass off at Twitchy.
Scrat is like nonverbal, you know.
Also true.
Twitchy is, the whole thing is that he talks so fast that it's funny. And I just feel like the Hammy from Over the Hedge is the quirky squirrel character, but then we get like Ratatouille, G-Force, then we're elevating. Now the rats are sophisticated. What is it about? And then Alvin and the Chipmunks,
Right.
Now they're singing. But I feel like there's a deep seed of inspiration that Hoodwinked sprawled out into the cinematic universe. I think it doubled down on the Shrek impact. And also the frog, Nicky Flippers.
I was really loving that.
I love his character design. The frogs in Meet the Robinsons look just like that.
I don't think I ever saw that movie. I just really want to know if Glenn Close or Anne Hathaway ever did sit down and have to watch this movie.
We found pictures of them at the premiere.
They attended.
Yeah, I mean, they attended the red carpet of the premiere. Who's to say if they
made it into the theater,
the film? I mean, I'm sure they've seen it once. I
don't know. I feel like stars oftentimes they're like, it's just work.
I guess so. I would love somebody to ask Miss Annie about if she revisited the character of Red in Hoodwinked. Really helped her grow.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Speaking of Annie, have you seen the teaser trailer for Mother Mary that's been circulating?
A little bit. I think I saw parts of the song of her like performing in that fuck ass crown. Yeah, I've seen. I'm kind of tiring of the Charlie XCX film impact, the aftermath of Brat getting her very much involved in Hollywood. I really liked the moment, actually. I went and saw the moment, and I did really like it. I thought it was very funny. But the wuthering heights of it all, capitalizing on the inner life of a pop star kind of thing, I'm like, okay. I get what we're critiquing here.
Yeah, it's been done at this point. But
I'll still go see it, though.
Yeah. You'll have to let me know what you think of Wuthering Heights as you see it.
Yeah, I'm a little late to the boat on that one, but
it's like, I don't know.
Everyone's up on The Bride now. The Bride is the new, the bad good movie.
I can't wait. I'm sad.
I don't know if I'll be sad. I was reading an overview that brought to light that I wasn't aware of, that it is taking place in the 1930s.
Yes.
And that
it's like Mary Shelley, like
her spirit.
Yes. I also saw this.
Yeah. I'm
like, and that's all it told me basically. And that Christian Bale's Frank is like a sad cinephile. So we shall see.
You know, I respect Maggie Gyllenhaal for wasting everyone's time on this one. I've also seen so much of movie conversation is like about budgets and box offices, and it's, you know,
let the girl make a flop if she wants to.
I love that
it's not your money.
I love that she took $90 million of the man's money and made her feminist passion project that totally shits the bed.
Why not?
Yeah, I think more Nepo babies should take inspiration from Maggie and waste those men's money.
Well, yeah, exactly. Before they take cinema away entirely, you know?
But not a dollar was wasted in the production of Hoodwinked.
No, they needed every penny for this one.
Because it's reported at the end of the day having a budget of $8 million. And a good point of reference for this one is Robots that came out the same year. 80 million, 10 times. Like, it is just shows what a pennies they made this movie for.
Yeah, it is impressive, honestly. This is like low-key an underdog story to me, the fact that this movie actually managed to get made.
Yeah, because
this is the shit they talk about in Marty Supreme. I would rather watch a movie talking about how Hoodwinked got made than watch Marty Supreme again.
Two different things, I think, entirely. But yes, we all love to hate Timothée Chalamet.
Well, it's my underdog story.
That he's been gallivanting about, saying that people
don't care about opera or ballet.
Which I feel like the conversation on this is so, like, kind of tired. Because I feel like at this point, if you don't recognize that he's kind of a
con artist, my opinion.
I don't want to call him dumb, but like he's an actor. He's a rich Hollywood guy. Of course his opinions are not going to align with yours.
Guys, he's dating Kylie Jenner. I think we could all realize he was a little out of touch when that started to happen.
Years now. Like they're gonna get married probably kind of relationship. Like the girlies who are still clinging on to that 20-teens version of Timmy I'm like, you have to come to terms that we all got a little duped.
Exactly.
He put on this soft boy etiquette, and
he was also directed by queer men and women, so it also aided and hit that quest.
Greta Gerwig said, "This is how we're gonna make our dollar," and you put on that floral sweater and tousle that hair, and that's what worked for him then, and now he's doing what works for him now.
We honestly,
the Hollywood elite, they're not people. You're not supposed to relate to them.
Exactly.
And if you genuinely like them enough to care about what they're doing, you need to evaluate yourself and your relationship with media, because of course they're all fucked.
Yeah, take a Google into parasocial relationships and take a long, hard look at yourself. I don't know. I can't say that I'm displeased about the smear campaign. Is it a smear campaign? Is he just an asshole?
I feel like it's kind of example of misinformation, or the twisting of something someone says once that is obviously maybe bad and not right, but then the blowing of it out of proportion to the point where we're talking so much about this and Timothée Chalamet doesn't respect the arts, whatever, where it's like the real story at the end of the day for me regarding Marty Supreme was that it was made by a sex criminal, right? And we're not talking about that. And we're not talking about any assumed compliance Timmy has in working with someone who has been abusive to women on his sets before, children. So it's interesting to me. I almost wonder if this is being like Timmy taking a little bit of a personal hit to deflect the quote-unquote smear campaigns onto himself rather than from Josh Safdie. Because I had seen, Timmy says him next to Matthew McConaughey and he says whatever he says. But then I saw so many tweets being like, clip from 2019 resurfaced. Everyone's rehashing this comment Timmy made in 2019. And I was like, no. I know my Timmy timeline. He did not look like that in 2019. That clip is from recently.
Yes.
And then
it was like a couple of weeks ago.
And then I see it's the clip of him and Matthew McConaughey, and the caption is clearly stating, old clip of Timmy, 2019 comment being resurfaced, whatever. And I'm like, let me dig into this myself. And it's like, no, he made a similar-ish comment on the Graham Norton show in 2019. And then he, again, said recently in this Matthew McConaughey interview. So I'm like, why are we trying to say, oh, no, this was a long time ago. No, maybe he's changed. He hasn't said shit about it. Plenty of people are coming out being like, hey, Doja Cat is making full live streams in her towel.
Whoopi Goldberg told him to be careful.
But I'm like, truly, why is this where our conversation's at? It's like when I open my Twitter feed and I see what I think they want me to be seeing rather than what's really happening, and I get all like crazy about the news.
Well, one of my favorite things about all of this is that he's currently in, I think, China. I'm not sure exactly, but he's out in the East, and he's promoting Marty Supreme, and no one gives a shit about him there. It's like he's like genuinely like handing out like promotional shit on the street, and like it's no one knows who he is. It's very funny to watch, also considering that he hasn't made an apology and he's just kind of like brushing this off.
But I don't think he really needs to make an apology. It's just an opinion he has.
Also true.
He didn't hurt anyone. He was just a dumb guy going on a talk show saying his dumb opinion. He doesn't need to apologize for that. He
is entitled to that. I think it was just from a PR standpoint, I am shocked that there hasn't been something said, but
no, because I think this is what they want.
Yeah,
they want people. I mean, this is my opinion, but I think they want him to take a little bit of a hit for this, and maybe so that they can leverage it again in the future, like oh, when he got canceled
and
like
he lost
back.
The Oscar. Yeah. The thing that like
he lost the Oscar because of the cancellation. That's going to be the excuse.
And that, oh my God, and he's going to lean on that, and then he's going to become probably more popular with the men that he wants to become popular with.
Exactly,
because the entire thing is really taking a Matt Rife turn at this point.
Really, I don't think it's quite that bad, but
I would say, well, it's very like it is. I think, obviously, opera and ballet are seen as like feminine things, which they are not inherently. But I think a lot of women that were very like blinders on 2019 Timmy. This is kind of newsflashing their opinion, and it's very clear that he's, especially with this campaign, that he's wanted to garner more of a male audience. The same thing that Matt Rife did, and he was like, fuck my fans. Hey, fuck my fans. I hate all the girls. Fuck my fans.
Which, look at where you're going to get without the girls.
Nowhere.
You lose support of the girls.
No one cared enough to see Timothy. No men really cared enough to see Timothy Chalamet. Real men went to see F1. The real men that he wanted to get into his corner were out seeing F1.
And Timmy, if you want that to be your audience, then have fun with a life of shitty action movies, rehashing IP made for the people in the largest common economic dividend, which is shitty white men. Okay, that's the art you want to be making for all this great stuff you've got to make up until this point that has defined your career and made you famous, and you're gonna throw that away for what is the biggest economic opportunity? That's throwing away so much of your artistry.
What do you think his next steps are going to be? Not to like harp on this too much, but I am interested, considering that I think Dune Messiah is the next thing that he has coming, and then I don't know anything past that. I'm guessing he'll take a break, probably, considering that post Oscars he's going to want to blow his brains out. I wonder if, like, because Dune Messiah, I haven't read the books or anything like that, but I do know that it gets into like the more religious prophecy shit, and I do, as we head into more of an evangelical realm in the United States, I wonder if he gets magnified almost. Do you know what I mean? Not that I think that base is going to be going and seeing Dune all that much, but do you see my weird little angle?
I guess I think the religious aspect of Dune is entirely a criticism. So I think if he were to fall
but do you think people are smart enough to even realize that these days?
Yeah, if they're watching Dune.
Fair enough.
I don't think, or the people who watch Dune and don't get it aren't participating in Dune discourse.
True
I don't
enough.
think. I would be really shocked if he the stuff that movie is explicitly criticizing.
Sure.
But I certainly see
if his fans sort of started to take on, like, if he genuinely started garnering support.
I don't think he has male fans yet.
Yeah.
I think he wants to, but I don't think he has that fan base.
Yeah.
I think his fan base is all now like the women clinging on to his former image.
Club Chalamet.
And he's trying to get this new male fan base, but I don't know if he'll get there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think guys want to respect a man who got famous by embracing the parts of him that are vulnerable and feminine.
Yeah. True.
But maybe he's, doing his rap Sadiq Kid features Christ. And he's fucking Kylie Jenner, the richest baddie,
Do you think he'll just start appearing on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, considering that show's still...
Is it still running?
I think so.
I wouldn't know. I think it's deeply evil, and I think those people are fucked.
Yeah. No, I'm certainly interested to see what happens next, especially with the Dune press after the Oscars, and then if he takes a break or not, honestly.
Yeah. I think he'll be less affected by the Oscar loss because I think he knows it's coming now.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
I don't think it'll be as big of a letdown as when he was doing his big, this is my dream, this is my moment.
He won't drop to his knees at this point.
I think he's coming to terms with the fact that it's not going to happen, and he's pre-self-destructing in order to soften the reconciliation of that.
Honestly, that's a good way of looking at it.
Not to psychoanalyze Timothée Chalamet. I'm sure he's doing just fine.
Oh, of course. Also, I want to know, did you ever watch The Secret Agent before we get to the Oscars this weekend?
I have F1 and The Secret Agent to watch this week.
And that's it?
And I have to do it. And will I get around to it?
You're actually going to do F1?
I have to. I've never not watched them all. I have to do it.
Good on you. The Secret Agent is supposed to actually be good, at least. So.
Yeah. My mom said that it was kind of long and...
It is
a lot of characters.
It is long.
A lot of plot lines. So I'm going to have to lock in for that one. But no, I have to watch them. I was actually a really pleasant twist of this somewhat uneventful Oscars season was the short films this year.
Yeah?
In the past couple of years, they've not been very good. And they've been like sort of like trauma porn or like torture porn where they're like, you know, the shorts are really the time where we get to make a political statement.
Sure.
Here's literally the most graphically upsetting thing we could think of. Like, that's it. And then all the animated ones are always about, like, dementia and, like, having aging parents. Just, like, really sad shit. They're like, look, it's a cute animation style, but we're talking about what it's like to forget. And you're like, oh, my God. But this year, actually, across the board, I really enjoyed most of them. So if you have the chance to check any of them out, I was really pleasantly surprised with a lot of them. Has been a big highlight. I also am definitely rooting for Sinners very much. I feel like
of course,
a lot of the discourse about like this season being kind of lame or uneventful or whatever is like a big disservice to Sinners, which is like it's making a landmark historical stamp of the industry by having the most nominations ever be from this like independent Black creator telling an original story. Like that is so cool to overlook this and be like, this year's such a wash, this year's so boring is like definitely a discredit to that. I also think categorizing any of their wins as being like, oh, the industry's just trying to look woke is also such a disservice to that movie. I think it will deserve any of the accolades it receives. And it's not the industry just posturing to try to look, you know, accepting and diverse. I think that it actually was the best movie of the year. I think those performances were the best performances. So let's not get that fucking twisted. Okay?
I agree with you there. I am interested to see if the industry, if they actually award it, is my only thing. I'm very skeptical of the voters.
But it has been.
Especially as those anonymous ballots have leaked.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit? Oh my God.
Yeah, not cute.
There was one person that I felt very represented by, and then everyone else I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
I know, and making it so that they have to watch all of them and then just in turn people admitting to just skipping the category is also like wild to me.
Insane.
Like you have an opportunity.
Everyone's saying that they weren't watching anything animated. Yeah. They were like, yeah, when my kids were younger, I would like breeze through that easily, but now I don't have my kids, so I don't care.
Again, because of the age discrepancy, because everyone who's voting is old and their kids are old.
Yeah, 65 plus white men.
But I do think there's maybe a shift in the voting body. Like, I think they are getting more young people. But I don't think the Academy ever really represents, like, good taste. Even what is popular. I think it's its weird own little microcosm.
Yeah. That's why, like, as much as we love to watch it, we do stand by the fact that fuck the Oscars.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
You know? I don't know. I've been really pleasantly surprised to watch, like, everyone get their flowers from different award shows and everything. I really loved that Amy Madigan got the what do they call it? The Actors Awards now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the SAG.
Yeah, not a SAG because we're not a union
SAG,
anymore.
Not a union.
Yikes. I also feel like this is one of the more recent years where I don't identify too many instances of category fraud. Like,
True.
I think all the supporting, maybe barring Frankenstein, I think all the supporting performances were truly supporting roles in the films, and that there wasn't too much, you know, screen time discrepancies between the leads and the supportings.
Sure. I still do think that the fact that Paul Mescal didn't get nominated for Hamnet was a little... I know it's probably because... Not great. I just think like I think I got 9 nominations or something like that. And I mean, I just showed it again at work and I watched some of it back. And I do think that he at least could have gotten the nomination. But who else was nominated?
Hold the phone. Roll it back. If we're talking about things from Hamnet that didn't get awarded,
Jacoby Jr.
That trial.
Honestly, I take it back.
Should have a nomination.
I take it back. You're right.
10 times over before Paul.
That is correct, actually. You're right. I just...
even the other Jupe who played on stage Hamnet,
fair enough,
outacted Mr. Shakespeare. In my opinion,
I think it was all phenomenal. I don't know. I'm really hoping that Chloe Zhao gets director. I don't think she will.
No chance.
No chance.
Yeah,
I don't think she will, but
it's PTA
wishful thinking.
I think Best Picture and Best Director are pretty locked on PTA. I would love to see a Ryan Coogler upset.
I think Sinners might get Best Picture. I don't think they'll give it to him for... I can certainly see PTA getting it for One Battle, unfortunately, because I do think Ryan Coogler deserves it. But I could see... I don't know. I'm not too set on that, actually. I feel like
One Battle has just won every Best Picture at every awards yet.
Has it?
Yeah, it won the Globe. It won the Critics. It won the BAFTA.
Did it win the actor?
I don't know. I obviously didn't watch that one. No, not
Ryan Coogler also won it for Best Director.
Did One Battle win anything at the actors?
I don't know, actually. Sean Penn, he got Best Supporting.
I learned recently
the SAG Awards did really change my some of my perspective for the Oscars, but what were you gonna say?
I didn't really have an opinion about Sean Penn as a person, or like I didn't have any knowledge of his personal life before this movie.
I try not to.
Recently, I learned that he was married to Madonna, and there were a bunch of domestic abuse allegations, and that he's definitely been alleged of being a piece of fucking shit by enough people for it probably most likely to be true. And again, I commend his performance in that film, but it's like, at what point is just being a shitty guy and then playing a shitty guy is like, that's not impressive anymore.
Exactly.
It's only impressive if you were acting.
Again.
To me.
A la Timothée Chalamet.
Which I don't think Timothée Chalamet has hit anyone so far,
no,
as far as we know. He's more of a...
I did not think that the performance was far off pace in Marty Supreme.
Right, yeah. I think Josh Hafty found a nice Delulu aspirational.
I think that everyone was cast for those performances specifically, which they do. Isn't that a new thing for the Oscars? Is it Best Casting?
Yeah, Best Casting category.
So that's
we'll see. Triple G, more like C or V. Am I right? Jen is here to do Chocolate or Vanilla, her interim podcast segment where she says 2 things. We all say which one we like better. Jen, is there a theme this week? And hi, how are you?
There is a theme, and I'm good. I'm super excited for the Oscars. I can't wait.
Oh, I meant to print out bingo cards today, and I didn't. Oh, Oscar bingo cards.
So my theme, though, is takeout, because I'm obsessed with takeout lately.
Fair.
I can't get enough takeout food. And I have a game.
Oh, exceptional.
All right. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Even though a girl at work made an amazing vanilla, like, funfetti cake this week. It's really good.
Love funfetti.
Yeah, it was like 4 layers, and it had all sprinkles around the outside.
Henry just calls that birthday cake. When I'm like, oh, like, what kind of cake do you want? He's like, birthday cake. And I'm like, what? And he's like, like funfetti. And I'm like, call it funfetti. He's like, no, that's birthday cake. Which is true. It is the one that evokes the most celebration.
I do know what he's saying.
Not wrong. There's a new munchkin called Wedding Cake Munchkin, and it's kind of weird.
What is it? Like, just white?
It tastes kind of blueberry-ish, and it has like something on the outside that's not sprinkles.
It's weird.
Yeah.
They're getting way too experimental with flavors nowadays, because we saw cinnamon peanut butter cinnamon roll flavored M&Ms.
One
At
flavor.
Have you
CVS.
seen-
One
They
flavor.
have
Wanted to-
peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter
They
cinnamon
have
roll.
peanut
but then
butter
there
and
were-
jelly M&Ms, which are honestly kind of good.
They had also lemon meringue pie, like white chocolate lemon meringue pie M&Ms, and dark chocolate cherry M&Ms.
This is evoking. Do you remember when Extra Gum put out like those dessert flavors back
the
in
key
the
lime
day?
pie flavors.
Yes,
And
specifically.
then on The Biggest Loser, they were like, all of you can chew this stick of gum.
And that's it.
There was like product placement in The Biggest Loser, I swear to God, where it was like,
crazy.
the ice cream sundae flavored gum is like, this is a favorable way to have a 0-calorie sugar replacement.
That's insane. But also, those did get me through seasons of softball.
That's kind of bougie for like school gum to be having the mint chocolate chip flavored extra.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was rocking
I was
it.
always an icebreakers girl. I liked the sour icebreakers
Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, those are great.
Bubblicious and Bubble Yum.
and Big League Chew.
Yeah, I didn't-
Real ones
See, that
always
was
had
the-
Big
I did
League
not like
Chew.
Big
That
League
was the
Chew.
coveted stuff for me.
Mm.
If I could get my hands,
cud.
yeah, right, exactly.
I will go chocolate though. First one, crab rangoons or teriyaki wings.
Crab rangoons. Even though a bad rangoon, that can really break my heart. Whereas I feel like teriyaki wings across the bow are usually pretty safe, but I'll go for the rangoon because the chance that it might be beautiful is worth it.
I feel like rarely do I meet a rangoon that I can't get along with, so I'll go crab rangoon.
Yeah, I'll go crab rangoons also. Next one is pad thai or spring rolls.
I don't like pad thai. I have a bit of a barrier with like peanuts in a savory context. I think I'm getting a little bit better because I had some with some like lemongrass chicken recently that I was like, I actually don't mind this, but I don't know, an overwhelming like nutty sweetness with like shrimp is kind of strange to me. Yeah, so I'll go with the spring roll for sure. Except is spring rolls the one with the rice paper? I like whatever's deep fried.
Yeah, that's an egg roll, right?
Yeah, I like an egg roll.
See, spring roll, I have a hard time with because of the rice paper, I think. So I'm going to go pad thai on this.
Yeah, I'm going to go pad thai. I love pad thai. I like shrimp, but I don't like to eat the shrimp on the pad thai. I just like to eat the noodles.
Give me the noodles, yeah.
It just pisses me off when they keep the tail on.
I agree with you there.
Don't make me detail my own shrimp if it's mixed in with a pasta. That's fucked up to me.
I agree. Next one is a banh mi or a turkey club.
It's been a minute since I've had a banh mi. I have to ask for no cilantro, which is really embarrassing because that's like one of the main flavor profiles. But I do really fuck with a banh mi. So, given that I can get my courage up to ask for it with no cilantro, I will be ordering the banh mi.
Yeah, living in Quincy is really nice because I have banh mi whenever I want it. So I'm gonna go banh mi.
Nice. I don't really know if I've had that many of them, so I'm gonna go turkey club. I should try more banh mi's though.
And what are the key elements of a club sandwich? Does that mean like that there's the third piece of bread in the middle?
Yes, and
Yeah,
bacon
and it's
usually.
like a BLT. So it's a BLT with turkey.
But there are other things that you call club, like other types of club sandwiches, no? Like, does the club really just mean the third bread?
Pretty standard, like turkey. I feel like
it's like a BLT and then a piece of toast and then turkey, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I feel like it's just a turkey BLT, but I might be wrong. Next one is pizza or calzone.
Pizza. I do order a calzone. I will go for the calzone because I like to customize it and put a bunch of fucked up shit in there. Love to do that. But on the whole, like pizza, I couldn't live without pizza.
Yeah, I'm pizza through and through. Calzone does not interest me really.
Yeah, I would say same. I like calzone, but I'm going to order pizza every time. Last one, veggie fried rice or veggie lo mein?
Veggie lo mein, because specifically my go-to Chinese order is pork fried rice, veggie lo mein, and then, a myriad of other dishes and stuff that comes with white rice. But like for our two starches, or for our two big starches that we're sharing as the table is the veggie lo mein, because I feel like the meat chunks are like too big and just are not vibing with the noodles in the same way that the veg is for me. Whereas the meat and the fried rice, the little cubes of the red pork, yes, that's what I want.
See, I feel like I honestly prefer like a veggie fried rice to like the veggie lo mein. There's so much, you know what I mean? I can't get a bite of everything that I want with the veggie lo mein because there's so much noodle, but I can get everything that I want with a veggie fried rice. But anyways, that wasn't the question. It was veggie lo mein and what else?
Veggie fried rice.
It is veggie fried rice. Oh, fried rice. Absolutely.
I'm going to go lo mein for sure. And then that's it for takeout chocolate or vanilla.
Making me hungry. I had
true.
half of a piece of tiramisu cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory for dinner tonight. And I might eat that other half now after this conversation.
You absolutely should.
Yummy. So I have a lovely friend at work, and she made a cheesecake for the birthday before mine, right? And I was like, your cheesecake was so good. You know, she's going to give me the recipe. And she says, sometimes cooking is chemistry and sometimes it's alchemy. And I have no idea what she meant.
No, I get it. I understand her. She's vibing in the kitchen.
I don't want to know though. No, alchemy means that you're turning metals into other metals. Like, no, we are not doing that in the kitchen. To me, when cooking is chemistry, that's too much.
Like veganism, modern day veganism is alchemy because they're making plant proteins into God knows what. And
these chicken nuggets are made of something that you will never believe.
Yes. But wait, Jen, you said you have a game?
Yeah, I have a little game. Just a little game.
Just a little game.
Is it one we've played before?
Yeah, I've played this one with you guys before. I'm going to read the Wikipedia first line of 3 different movies. And then at the end, there is a theme to the movies.
Okay.
Or a connection. I should say.
Have we played this before? Okay.
Yes, we have.
All right. So the first one is in 1960s Mississippi, a Southern society girl returns from college with dreams of being a writer.
60s, you said? 1960s Mississippi, and she wants to be a writer?
I think Emily knows it because of her face.
You can say it. It's a timed competition game, is it not?
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Is it not just the theme? Isn't
you have to get the movie?
Oh,
you have to get the movie and then the theme. Yes, good job, Em. Good job. When a young girl moves into a small town in the Pacific Northwest, she falls in love with a mysterious classmate. Yep, good job. In Green Lake, Texas, a family has been cursed to be unlucky, which they blame on a relative's
Look at the Irish
broken promise to a fortune teller. Yep, good job. So those are the 3. Help, Twilight, Holes. It's a hard theme. It's a hard connection.
I'm thinking Emma Stone's hair is a very tight red curl. Bryce Dallas Howard rocks a really tight red curl. Sigourney Weaver also has red hair.
True. This is
Hot
a good
women with red hair is maybe my first guess. That's definitely not it.
That's not it.
They were books first. Like they were Barnes & Noble bestsellers, Oprah Book Club.
Close. You're getting close.
Are they on Oprah's book club or something? I know The Help definitely was. New York Times bestsellers or something? No, that's not Holes.
No.
Holes absolutely was a New York Times bestseller. Shut your mouth. What do you know about Louis Satcher, okay?
Listen.
I'm at the end of my rope, Jen. Just tell us.
These are all movies where the author did a cameo.
Oh. Where was Louis Satcher in Holes?
He was in a flashback. He was the one buying the onions.
I don't think I knew that.
That's a great piece of
Stephanie
trivia.
Meyer in the cafe, and then who wrote The Help and where did they appear?
Yeah. She was in one of the junior league meetings. Her name's like Kate something, right?
Sure.
I can't remember her name. Yeah.
She doesn't need our promotion. That book is very famous.
I thought it was going to be a hard one because I thought that these weren't necessarily like famous cameos per se. You know what I mean? But
And then it took us a minute to even get to book. So
it took me a minute to even understand the premise of the game. So
sorry
that we have played before.
All right. Clearly, I'm just.
Jen, thank you for being here and hosting your interim podcast segment. I'm sure we will touch base about the Oscars, maybe immediate
happy
after
Oscars weekend,
or following in some capacity. Do you have anything you want to lock in right now? Any hot takes that you want to stand on right here and say, when that happens, think to yourself, Jen mentioned that. Yeah.
I have been listening to podcasts where they say there are 2 scenarios. It is a 2-horse race, and the awards that one battle after another have won, 100% of the time that will win Best Picture. But for Sinners, the SAG Ensemble Award and I forget the other 2 that they've won
Michael
are
B. Jordan.
also 100% of the time winner. So, like, there's 2 scenarios where they cannot lose. So,
Well,
does
someone's
that make
gonna.
sense? Yeah.
Oh, you mean like statistically every winner has also won that specific award also in the award season. So this will be unstoppable force and an immovable object sort of situation.
Yes, that's exactly
I'm asking
what I
you
mean.
what you think.
Yeah. Oh, my hot take. So I'm going to go one battle after another. And I'm also, I'm going to call it out right now. I'm going to say Michael B. for actor, though, Stellan for supporting, Tiana for supporting actress, and actress, Jessie Buckley. Those are my 4. Those are my 5 big ones right there. Yeah.
That's a fair guess.
Did you see that they're going to do performances, but only of the songs from Sinners and K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah,
so they're
insane.
like, we're bringing back the live performances, but only in a limited capacity and only to highlight that this is so clearly a 2-horse race that Diane Warren's not invited. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's so wild.
There will be no Kesha.
Huge bummer. Well, we'll check back in next week, post-Oscars, and see what happened. Jen, we'll see you then. Thank you as always. And we love you, and we'll see you next week.
I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Hoodwinked was not nominated for any Oscars.
I don't even know how to get back to that.
Hoodwinked did come out in sort of a golden era of transformative animation because we were very much taking those steps from hand-drawn to fully computerized 3D, which is cheaper and faster and amounts to less, artistry going into the work. And I think the artistry that happened in Hoodwinked is just a different kind of artistry.
Absolutely. Yes. I think it transcends the screen, honestly.
In my personal life, the way that I have been trying to not be on social media as much on my phone, and it has decreased my screen time significantly, is audiobook / Minecraft combo. You walk in with those headphones, and I've been cranking through Game of Thrones, but podcast, audiobook, whatever, and then you have your second screen activity be a super easy video game that it's like you don't have to split too much of your attention to be doing both at the same time, yet it's still kind of scratching that itch of like I need to be a little overstimulated, and just hitting the mines and listening to Bran Stark tell me about Winterfell has been a lot better for my mental health than doom scrolling.
That makes a lot of sense
as of late. So I encourage everyone to pick up the Switch and play some Legend of Zelda. Or, return to some old favorites, because I fear for everyone's cognitive dissonance and cognitive, impairing our cognitive function across the board.
Well, they just did a study that basically, obviously AI is making people worse. But they did a whole study where people are asking AI, like, oh, I had this argument, I had this interaction, blah, 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 blah. And AI will respond 50% of the time. AI will respond in a favorable manner to whatever you did and everything like that. So even if you're being manipulative or cruel or rude or something like that, AI is pushing that further along and validating you. And so obviously we're just going to breed worse and worse people. So do something with your hands. Get off the computer. Like, obviously, I think Minecraft is a very good
It's harm reduction at this point.
Yes, honestly. Minecraft is a great space for that. I wish that I never got into Minecraft as a kid.
I didn't really either. And I played with some friends over the pandemic as but I didn't really like the feeling I didn't like feeling chased. And that I was being hunted and stuff. That's not something I look for in video games. But thankfully, I've joined a realm with all my brothers-in-law who are all so good at Minecraft. And they already had set up this world that was self-producing all these resources. So all I do is I just steal from them, and then I go off in the woods and I build my pretty building, and then I go back and I steal more resources for them. So
see, that's fantastic.
So it negates a lot of the like hard part of Minecraft. Exactly. For me.
That's the thing about it that felt very overwhelming, is that like I think it's kind of need guardrails sometimes. I need to be like pushed along a little bit. Whereas like Minecraft is so open world that I get like what do they call it? Like option paralyzed almost. So, like it's the same way that Trader Joe's only has one thing that you can buy. If you need ketchup, there's only one ketchup you can get. And so it's like, okay, here you go. Here's the thing you do. You know what I mean? So that does sound really nice that there's like a pre-existing model for you to join.
Yeah. Because I was linking up with some people who had set the mine carts down already, so to speak. But Henry often reminds me when I get really frustrated about it, he's like, Dara, it's for children. He's like, don't let it get, all up in your head. This isn't going to ruin your day. Like, this game is for 6-year-olds. This is the number one activity for most elementary school kids. Don't stop getting worked up about it. And you can figure this out, I promise, kind of thing, which has been nice.
Yeah. Speaking of elementary school kids, does this movie feel like a elementary school lunch to you? Like for what you eat and drink with this? Because part of me really feels akin to like Velveeta for some Hoodwinked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like specifically one of my...
Like it's crunchy, but it's good.
A little older. I would say like older elementary school, early middle school. One of my favorite after school snacks / meals to have would be the microwavable Stouffer's mac and cheese, which just tastes like whatever like Velveeta type slop you would get.
Sure.
Microwaved in black plastic.
Of course, yes. And for maximum flavor.
Then you take a Lay's potato chips and you crunch them up. And then you dump the bag of Lay's on top, and that's the breadcrumbs.
Wow, look at you.
And you do Lay's potato chip Stouffer.
You're telling me America's Test Kitchen didn't want you for the job?
After 9 rounds of interviews and a fucking written exam, fuck my life. No, I didn't want to work in the Boston Seaport anyways.
God.
Fuck that place.
That's the real Bermuda Triangle of New England.
No, there actually is the Bridgewater Triangle. Do you know about this? It's incredibly interesting.
Wait, what?
There is a triangulated area in Massachusetts.
It would be in Bridgewater,
in the Bridgewater area that is
Bridgewater.
Like heightened paranormal activity.
Whoa. I'll have to look into this.
Yeah, it's like a
good YouTube
kind of conspiratorial true crime thing.
Interesting.
I had a lot of camp friends from
down that way.
Yeah. We're always talking about
the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah, the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah, but what would you if it's not Velveeta for you?
So I feel like this movie has schnitzel. Schnitzel, the favorite treat. It's so good. That
scene is crazy.
That song sequence, I love the way they made those kids look putrid and
it's insane,
like malformed. So funny. And then he sings the schnitzel song, and the way it's harshly abrupted by his truck having been robbed and the wheels are gone. The wheels on the cement blocks. So funny to me. Schnitzel. Like, come on. That's iconic. So you could have schnitzel on a stick if that is available to you. But I think this movie's all about goodies. It's the Goodie Bandit. It's about Granny's goodies. And a goodie that I love that we had a little snack of is the peanut butter cookies that are like so easy to make. It's just like peanut butter, flour, sugar, or whatever. And then you make the little cookie and you put it in a little muffin tin shape, and then you stick a little peanut butter cup in there. Good. I know a lot of people make them like more flat with a Hershey Kiss, but I prefer the model of it being like cup shaped with the Reese, double the peanut butter with the Reese cup. My mom had made them for a potluck, and she had a bunch extra, and I was like, I will gladly take those.
Yes, please.
But love those kind of cookies. And then my go-to chocolate chip cookie recipe is from the New York Times. It's like called crinkle cookie, like a chocolate chip chocolate.
It's like brown butter.
New York Times. I choose to brown my butter because I'm a fancy bitch, but the main thing of this recipe is the instructions about banging the tray to get it to be thin is key. The New York Times does charge you money to see their recipes, but if you just put the word Reddit at the end of your Google search, you can find people who've just posted it in the comments of Reddit. And that's what I use, because I used to have a New York Times cooking subscription, and then it was like pay $1 for a year or like some crazy deal. And then I did that and then I didn't look and then it renewed and it was $18 a month.
What the
And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, I definitely got this on some sort of deal that then like lapsed. And I was like, what the hell? So I canceled that shit. So I no longer get the mini on the games. But I've been trying to stay away from that because the New York Crimes uses very passive language in their news titles when talking about the violence that's happening. Like when they say like Israeli soldiers killed.
Yes.
But it's like, I don't know, like words that take the blame away.
Palestinians die. Yeah.
Instead like making it sound like it's just something that happened, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, super fucked. Fucked.
I'll have to put you onto this new game that I've been playing lately. It's called the Scrandle.
Scrandle?
Yes, it's called the Scrandle. And it's basically, I don't even know where this came from. I heard about it from a friend. But it's basically British foods, and they pull you at the beginning of it, and they give you two options, and they say, which would you prefer to eat? And they pull you, and then that's it. And then essentially what they do is they'll put up all of these options that have been pulled before, and you have to guess which one would be more popular. And they have a photo of the food, what it is, where it's from, and what the price point is. But it's really
interesting. But it's based on your answer.
Not based on your answer. You do get into sort of everyone, like you have to figure out what everyone else preferred. So here, let me show you. So these are two options. We have a 10-inch sausage roll for $3.50, and then a
Sonoran hot dog.
Yes. So this is just what I
which
prefer.
They appear to. Why does that look AI generated to me?
It does.
They're at a baseball field, but it's like. Or like some sort of sports stadium.
I'm not sure what it is, but so because it does look AI generated, I'll go for the sausage roll. So I voted, but so then it goes into you have to figure it out. What chips with Nutella, fries and Nutella, or a burger with chips? What's going to be my better bet? $9, $3.
Like what the general populace said?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely burger.
Wrong. Because that's the fun thing about this game. It's so British. It's insane.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I have no sense of what the British people like. Why would you put Nutella on your French fries?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess I maybe would, but...
I just know they love any kind of Indian food, something with a curry sauce, bam.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And then we always have to shout out our favorite movie games, Movie Grid and The Framed.
I love The Framed. Oh my God.
It's like framed.wtf is the URL you go to. And it's like, guess the movie in how many frames. And it's like, you get, more points the earlier you get it. It's a good way to keep much like the Movie Grid, it's a good way to keep your like cinema brain sharp.
It is.
Recognizing like iconic stuff. But that one is very much like within the first one, I either know it or I don't a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I don't know this one. Skip. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've never seen that. Whereas with the Movie Grid, it's like, oh, let me rack my brain because I know a Jonah Hill movie from 2000. I feel like that is a little more...
It's got room. You get less guesses with the grid. You only get one guess. And if you fuck it up, you're done.
Per square. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, I do agree with you. As much as I think Velveeta matches this movie, I think it's a baking. It's a baking movie. Me personally, I make jam every year, and I love making a thumbprint cookie. That would be my
recipe.
goodie. Exactly.
I love that this movie takes place in a universe where all humans and critters, animals seem to live harmoniously, but there does seem to be like a divide. Like people and animals are seen existing in the same space, but like the animals still live in the forest and talk about being affected by the woodsman's deforestation and shit like that, whereas it's like the people are just living in houses. So there's obviously some sort of dichotomy there, right? But we also exist in this economy that is only running on baked goods. And nobody remembers their recipes. Once their recipes are stolen, it is over for them. Or like, I think the implication would be once your recipe is stolen, it's going to be mass marketed and sold at a cheaper price point, and that drives you out of business. But they didn't have quite the time to explain that to kids. So they were like, the bunny wants to be the monopoly on the baked good industry. So he stole the recipes, but it's like, it would take quite a while for that to actually come to fruition. But hilarious when Andy Dick as Boingo the Bunny is unveiling his evil plan. And it's like this infographic that shows all the expansion he's going to do. And it's like Goodie Factory, but also like casino, airport, like so funny.
Yeah, no, I did like that this was like an anti-capitalist movie as well, almost.
And in the part that strikes me is the character we get working at the coffee stand when the big bad wolf is going undercover and pretending to be a health inspector, which we then get the reprise of later in the final bust down scene of Boingo's evil lair, where he's like, I'm the inspector, you should get a laser. Like, throwing them off his track. But the man who's working at the coffee place is like a human man in an animal fursuit.
Yeah, that was really intriguing
and
to
this
me.
seems to be like a little bit degrading to him as he seems, to be playing a low-level menial job and he is being forced to wear this animal suit. But he also lives in a world where there are animals. So it's...
You don't have to understand.
And I don't think they meant for us to, but every choice they made in this movie was so funny and was correct. Like, it's making me think about this world. I'm like, what is this world they live in? I love that they've created this very niche thing just to cater to the world of Little Red Riding Hood. I think it's beautiful.
It almost makes me want to watch the second one, but I also don't think that I'll get any more answers, just more questions.
No. I think this movie, if you look at like who directed it, who wrote it, pretty much everything, it's like, what else did they do? Just the straight to DVD sequel of Hoodwinked,
exactly.
like Hoodwinked 2.
Yeah.
TOO! Exclamation point.
Hood versus Evil.
Oh God, yeah. what a bummer. And then can we play Fuck, Marry, Kill? Is it like the Big Bad Wolf, Granny, and the Lumberjack? Or are we adding Nikki Flippers?
Fight, Marry, Kill, Fuck. No, Fight, Marry... Yeah, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Fight. Yeah, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Fight. I think those 4 would be good.
Sure.
I'm marrying Mr. Flippers.
Real.
Easily. Fight the Big Bad Wolf. I think we would have like a good, like, respectful fight, you know what I mean? Where we both like shake hands afterwards.
Sure.
Listen, Thrill Seeker Granny, I'm gonna put her to the test, see what she means in the sack. And I'll kill the Lumberjack. I don't think he's too pure for this world, honestly. I don't think he's meant to be here.
Yeah, and Hollywood is gonna take advantage
exactly,
of him. His aspiring acting career is only going to turn manipulative.
Yeah, what do you think?
I also think I'll kill the Woodsman. I think I'm gonna marry the Wolf because although Nikki Flippers is quite intriguing, I think he's too dedicated to his work, and he's being a private investigator. And not to say that the Wolf's work as a journalist is not equally as important, but that's something I feel like I could get more down with.
You'd be helping him on the scene.
Yes, me and Twitchy, like, maybe I can do the post-production on the photos or something.
Sure.
I can help out, whereas I feel like with the private, working with the law is not my strong suit. So, and I kind of liked Patrick Warburton's
I really did
easy
like
demeanor and funny, quippy way that he kind of turned the wolf to be this kind of like hoodie-wearing loser kind of guy.
No, that was a fun twist on it.
And then I'm going to fight Nikki Flippers because I can't take Granny.
No chance.
And then I agree. I'm going to see what Granny's knitting needles can really do.
And what do you watch after this, really?
I had put Over the Hedge because it did make me want to continue into those early 2000s 3D animation, again, a little edgier, like non-Disney 3D animated or like non-Pixar 3D animated films. But I also, as far as new stuff, would be interested to see, maybe not in theaters, but maybe once it's out on streaming and I can steal someone's login because I don't pay the mouse. But to see, what is it called? Hoppers?
Yes, yeah, that's coming out.
I've been seeing a lot of commentary about the movie, not only like the original screen tests or early concept sketches that are beautiful, like beautiful 2D hand-drawn animation. It's just been turned into this like that everything looks the same now kind of. But I've also been seeing some commentary on the actual storyline, and it's somewhat about environmentalism, and it's the way they try to have it pan out at the end is like maybe actually not a good lesson for kids. But I would need to see the movie to really like have an opinion about it. But I'd be interested to see like sort of what they're promoting now, because I know not Elio, but what's the movie about the kid with the eye patch who meets the
I know what you're talking about.
What is that movie called? It's always Luca. No, Luca's the fish boy.
I think it is Elio.
Is it Elio? They're always making these movies about a single name child.
It's supposed to be queer.
Right. It's like that they had a queer plot line
with him and his crush
in the movie that then got taken out, which is a huge a downside to studios having too much money.
Exactly.
Is that they're like, well, we can just animate, we'll just do everything and see what works. Or it's like, no, you should have a clear, distinct vision going into the process, not just like, oh, well, if the studio gives us notes on that, we'll just do it. And basically, it was less that they took it out and more their comment on like, we're in the business of entertaining children, not giving them therapy. It's pretty much what they said about taking that storyline out. Because I'm like, isn't the point of all your movies, like you're making Inside Out, you're making all these movies that are about appealing to kids' empathy and teaching them how to feel. And you are kind of in the business of therapy as well.
Yeah.
Weird thing to say.
You're not,
when it is so apparent that is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why would you deny that? I guess
kind of bonkers.
Like how do we say we're homophobic and queer stuff isn't making money right now politically the same way it used to, so we had to cut that shit out as per the board. Like, they're not going to say that. Yeah. So they're going to say, oh, you softies need movies to validate your feelings.
Like yes, that's what movies are for, actually.
Specifically movies for kids. Yeah. That's kind of what it's about. That's kind of
the whole business. I don't know if this is just my recency bias showing, but I did watch the 2011 Muppets movie again recently.
With Jason Segel.
Yes, and I think there is truly something so beautiful about watching someone's passion project, especially because like you can tell in that movie he is genuinely having the time of his life.
Was he a producer or something as well on that? Or
he like executive produced the whole thing. It was like his passion project, and he pitched it, and he got the whole thing up and off the ground, I believe. But so I'm going to say you watch that because I do think that this movie feels very much in the way that like punk music, like, you know, we don't quite have the means to make it, but we're going to do it anyway.
And people are going to like it.
And people are going to like it and respond to it because...
by people.
Yes. Because the tools, even though the tools are not, they're the best for what we're doing, it turns out to be something beautiful regardless. And I think that...
Hoodwinked is punk as fuck.
Yeah, Hoodwinked is punk as fuck. And I think that, you know, the Muppet movie is another, you know, it's not punk, obviously. It had like as much funding as it could have possibly needed, and it is brilliant. And I think it's just another good representation of what can be made when we spotlight artists that are passionate about their work.
Exactly. Yeah. So true as we enter these dark times. What would you give this movie out of 10? I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm going to give it a 6, I think.
I'm going to give it a 7. A lot of those points are nostalgia-based, but honestly, I think that this should be in film schools, in an animated film class, like to represent. I think it doesn't quite do the job that Shrek does in showing how a generation grew up with all these like bastardized fairy tales. Like every story we were told was transparently a parody of something else. So we never really grew up like learning the original stories. We learned the original stories through them being made fun of, which again I think is like very foundational in the way a lot of us view media and what we like and stuff like that. But I do think Hoodwinked is a beautiful visual representation that will give you that crunch of that Veggie Tales, early crunchy.
Definitely crunch.
CGI. And we watched it on my massive TV and you could see every pixel. And honestly, it was hilarious. It was so fun.
Yeah, considering that probably 20 years ago now, I watched this on the smallest DVD player on the back of a car seat.
That was built into the car seat.
Yes, exactly. And now I get to watch it on a fucking 90 inches.
No, 90's exaggeration. This is 75.
All right, 75 inches is... it's something beautiful about adulthood.
And I'm glad to own this DVD, because if it does become lost media one day...
At least you'll have it.
I'll put it up somewhere. Me and the billions of other people who own DVD.
Exactly.
But yeah, celebrating our DVD copies this week. But let us know what you think we should cover in the future. Let us know what you think about awards season and any themes or ideas about chocolate or vanilla. We couldn't have Jen on this week. Sorry to Jen, but we'll see her soon. And get into some non-doom scrolling activities is my advice for y'all today. And also Korean skincare. That's new to me and has been improving my life a little bit.
A force for good.
Yeah. And what else? Dinamite must be Italian.